Hello and welcome to Strategic Gaming. My name is Mac Taylor, and this time I will not skimp on the introductions because they need introductions. They're great people. First of all, we have the girl who, again, has yet to play the social experiment. She'll be there in April, and I'm excited to see how she does. It's Miss Tequila Jaeger. How's it going, Tequila?
Pretty good as always.
And the person who did play the social experiment too, he won no con. He almost won one HOH. He was then nominated by me and swiftly evicted. It's Chris Wilkinson. How's it going, Chris?
It's great. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so we are going to talk about three more episodes 13, 14, and 15. Uh, we get to talk about an eviction. We get to talk about HOH. We get to talk about drama, like 17 alliances. That the lines keep reshifting like every 5 seconds, and it's like very unclear as to who's really aligned with who. So we jump in. It's still like Kent versus Mike. Like they're still just like Mike. He knows he's pretty much on the outs here when it comes to this vote, but he's like, you know what? I'm gonna if I'm going out, like I'm gonna blow up many people's games as I can, and I'm gonna like a much more strategic version of what Shannon did. He's not going as personal. He's going more strategical with his blow ups. And then Kent, he's just overplaying everything, and that's really the biggest downfall of Kent is like he's getting one thing accomplished, but he also manages to just fuck himself so hard going into this next week by just because he can't leave anything alone. He just can't stop talking. And Hardy's in one of the middle of his will I, won't I play this game fits. And he's like, yeah, I'm going to make a deal with Will. And as he describes it, it's making a deal with the devil. And Will's like, man, I cannot believe that this guy's aligning with me. But like, hey, anything I got to do to flip myself to the top of this game. So, Chris, we'll do Chris and Tequila. Walk me through how does Will end up going from public enemy number one? There's no way you're making it past 7 to he could very well ride this thing all the way to the end of the game. How the hell do you do that in a matter of like 5 days?
I mean, Will, he just had a rude awakening when Shannon left, and he had to get super depressed and realize his goal that he is there to win a game, and he's there to play everybody in the game. Like he decides it's time to be the evil doctor and manipulate everybody that plays the game and do whatever it takes to get to the finals.
Okay, Tequila?
Yeah, I totally agree on everything. Also, like with Will, he's a really good liar, which really sets the game for him. So, I mean, being good at what you do with the lying and then realizing, hey, my better half's gone, so I can actually play this game, really sets you up for getting further in the game than you were before.
Yeah, and it's like when Shannon goes, he's like, fuck, I should probably start thinking about how I'm going to move forward. And then as we're getting to it, like when Mike goes, he's like, yeah, I'm on my own. There's nobody that's looking out for me at all. So like I find a way to get through or it's going to be me immediately next. So we hear from Krista and Mike's. Krista's like family, like where she works. Like this is more of like their workplace that we're hearing from. Where Krista, her people, they're like, yeah, don't really know why she's attracted to Mike. I would go after Hardy because it's a Hardy love fest for the first, however, like halfway through the season. This has all just been like, yeah, Hardy's a good looking guy, and Boogie's best friend, co-bar owner, what I don't know exactly what he is to the business or Boogie, but he's like, yeah, he's playing everybody, and he's got. And it showed like 4 girls, and they just put like Mike's friend, and I'm like, these are low key just people he's fucking on the side, and they are interviewing him for some reason. Like, how you gonna go to someone's hometown and just start interviewing side bitches? Like, that's gotta be embarrassing on a rewatch. Uh, let's see here. Oh, we also find out through, this little poll. Hardy is like the fan favorite in the poll with the audience so far, and Will is like the most hated at this point in the audience. Um, we'll go Kristen Tequila. Why do you think Hardy is the fan favorite, and why do you think Will is the just most despised at this point in the game?
I mean, Hardy is obviously the most liked because he's playing nice with everybody in the house. He has alliances all over the board, and he's trying to play the game like he doesn't want to win, even though he obviously wants to win. He wouldn't be there if he didn't want to win, but he's going to play the game like a completely nice guy so he can try and get more votes in the end, and it just causes everybody to like him. And obviously his physical stature is, I mean, it's the most important thing about him. I mean, every girl is in love with the Hardy. But on the other hand, you have Will, who has just cheated and lied and manipulated just to be this far in the game. And nobody likes Will. I mean, he's condescending. He obviously cares way too much about the way he looks, and he takes care of his body in such immense fashion that it's just conceded to the people around him, and that's how he is perceived, and that's why nobody really seems to like him.
Okay, Tequila?
Yeah, with Hardy, like he's playing with people's emotions really well. Like he's doing the whole alliance thing back and forth, and then he's crying a lot, showing that emotional side of him, which is really good to for men to be all emotional and whatever. So he's doing that really well. With Will, he's like you said, he's being evil, he's being the villain through the whole thing, and he's not changing just for this game. He's being who he wants to be, and he's not gonna try to win America's heart or anybody's heart at the game. He's just playing it for himself, trying to get further there. So people don't like that about Will. So I really feel like he's just hated just because he's not going to change like Hardy is, trying to play people.
Yeah, and like, as you, Big Brother, sometimes these American votes, man, people are weird. Like, no one ever votes how the fuck I think, like, something should go down. Like, and I think there's a difference between, like, the person that you really like and the person that you really think is playing the best game. It's not always the same. It's not always the same person. Hardy seems like really likable and really down to earth, but his strategy is all over the place. He's such an emotional person that when his emotions change, so do his outlooks on the game and things like that. Whereas Will, it's a laser focus of like, I want to win. Doesn't matter how we got to do this, but I'm gonna do it. And he's just zigzagging his way to try to get there. And sometimes that kind of thing works. Sometimes that does not work. But it doesn't always come across to the audience very well because he is kind of vain and kind of cocky and a little arrogant. But in this oddly honest way. And to me, I respect his honesty a lot more than I would someone who's like going to try to double cross or like be hypocritical in the future. Like, I'd rather like Will's going to stab you in the front. He's not going to stab you in the back. He's not going to stab you in the side. You see Will coming. With this. And then so a little bit in this episode too, we get Krista blowing up Kent's game, being like, you're coming after me for some reason. I've never done anything to you. You're making up all these things, and you're not going to be HOH next week. And like, if I get HOH, you're on the block and you're going home. There's no doubt, 100%. I'm coming after your head. Kent doesn't care because he doesn't think Krista's going to win HOH. So Mike gets evicted. I believe it's unanimous, so it's a 4-0 vote. I think, or is it 5?
Will voted
5
for Boogie.
Yes, a 4-1, because he knew Will wasn't going to vote him in. And Krista is like, he walks out the door, and Krista is just immediately broken down. She's crying in the bathroom, like this is the worst. They're like, he's not dead. He's just right outside. He's just right out there. But also, the evictions are very early. Big Brother is weird, like I keep saying, because they walk out the front door. There's like this weird open walkway. They walk dead silence. They walk through to this little patio area where Julie's with this big ass television that's like hooked up on this. It's like a fucking AV club rolled out a cart. And they do this little interview. It's like now the house is connected to a sound stage. So when they walk out the front door, there's an audience and they are very fucking vocal. And they go and they have their seat, and there's a big Titan like TV thing that they watch things on. Like it's a big elaborate thing, and it's just so weird to think like they just walked out the door, nobody was there, and they walked this little path to Julie on a patio. It is a little awkward to kind of watch them just walking, and they're like, "Oh, this is different." Because also, like, did they go in that front door and they not? Because they always seem surprised that the patio is there. So it's like they're like, "All right, everyone's in the house now. Let's build this patio onto this house." I just wanted to comment on this for a second because I'm watching it. I'm like, "This is so fucking weird." So Mike's like, "Yep, saw that shit coming. Didn't want to campaign against Krista. I think she deserves to win the game. I couldn't do it. Will tried to get me to do it. Good luck to him. Good luck to her." Hardy wins HOH for the second time. He's the first person to be HOH twice in one season. It came down to him and Nicole basically did not want this HOH. Well, she's like, "Hardy, you go ahead. You get the blood on your hands." So, episode 14, Krista, she's talking about Boogie, trying to figure out how the hell she's gonna get through this game without him. And Hardy is talking like, I kind of would like to turn on Bunky, like, because he was kind of like bouncing back and forth because he's like, I want to take out Kent, but like Bunky just keeps running up to me and he's like, I voted with you guys every time. If you want me to vote out Kent, I'll vote out Kent. But like what's the plan this week? And both Hardy and Nicole just blew him off, and they said something specific. I wrote down the phrase. Hold on. Maybe it's in the next episode. I wrote it down. We'll get to it in a minute, I'm sure. I jotted down the line because I was like, bullshit, and then Bunky then went to the DR and was like, bullshit, and I'm like, yes, Bunky, thank you for that. So Hardy's now, he went from like, yeah, I just want to get out Chilltown, or I just want to get out Kent, to being like, yeah, Bunky's the biggest threat. I think I'm going to flip on Bunky. But then before we can divulge any further, they do this food challenge. And Hardy's like, now remember, I'm HOH and I haven't made my nomination. So if you lose my food, I may put you up. The only person who loses food is Krista. And, oh my God, I hated that whole, like, now remember, I'm HOH thing. What do you think of Hardy's second HOH up to this point with the whole food thing and the maybe turning on Bunky thoughts? And we'll go Kristen Tequila. Go ahead.
I mean, Hardy just gets absolutely cocky when he wins HOH for the second time. I mean, he's strutting around and he's saying he's so good and he doesn't understand how he could possibly lose this game if he keeps winning HOH. And he's right to think that way, and he could keep doing it. But Hardy is just, he's letting it go to his head, and some of the people are starting to see that, and it's stirring everybody's emotions. And alliances are changing, and it's just drama every single second. Somebody is always mad at somebody in the house, and Hardy is the root of it because he is the HOH.
Yeah, with throwing out like the hey, I'm HOH, if you fail this food competition, then I'm more than likely going to nominate you and put you on the block. Well, when Krista, it was her turn, he blamed it and he's like, hey, you know what? It was kind of my fault. I didn't blend that up too well. So, that was just my bad. It wasn't really your fault. Again, like with Hardy winning HOH and Nicole letting Hardy do it, I feel like Nicole wasn't ready emotionally for it. So I get why she threw it. But again, I think she should have done it and went for it for herself to get HOH. Because I mean, she could have changed the game totally, and it probably wouldn't have been as much drama maybe with Hardy. Because yeah, like Chris is right, like every time Hardy does this, like everything gets blown out of the water for no reason, and like Hardy's pinpointing people and the Bunky thing, and when Bunky comes over to Hardy, and he's like, hey, whatever you want me to vote, the team wants to vote this, I can do it. And then Hardy's like, that's just weak on Bunky's part. Like, I don't want a weak person in this house. And I'm like, that's just stupid. Like, he's just doing what the team wants to do. Like, how does that make you weak? But yeah, with Hardy winning HOH, I feel in between about it.
Yeah, and it goes back to this thing, like he's all over the place with how he wants to play his game, and Bunky's like, I love Kent, but like I gotta distance myself from this guy. He's going on the block. I don't want to be sitting next to him when he does that. But like I also can't just drop him because everybody in the house has been like avoiding Kent, like because they know he's going on the block and they've just ignored him. And there's this moment where Kent's in the pool and he's like, "Hey, Bunky, come here," and he's like, "What?" He's like, "I just wanted to thank you, like." Everybody here, like, they get super fake, but like you've been my friend through all of it, and I appreciate that. Monkey's like, don't make me cry right now. I can't handle all these the cry on top of all this. And like again, it makes me like Kent more because he looks past the game part and is like, man, thanks for being friendly with me because it would really suck if you weren't in here. And then Hardy, basically Bunky's like, would you just tell me who's going on the block so I know who to vote for? And he's like, I'm not here to talk strategy. I'm not here to I don't want to win. I want to make sure somebody else wins. And I just, I want the best person to win because I think it's how this game should be. And Bunky just goes in the dive room. He's like, yeah, you know what? I think you're worried about me because I am the biggest threat to win this game, and I'm gonna win this game, Hardy. And if I get HOH, I'm coming after you because you are a hot mess in this house. And I was like, oh my god, Bunky is doing something like big. He's not just making fun side comments. Like he's like, all right, I'm done with this whole we're a group thing. Clearly, no one gives a shit about that anymore. Let's go. Go time. And then we got the whole Nicole and Will shower thing, which we talked about last episode. We don't want to touch about this episode. But what do you think of Bunky's realizing that he's probably the biggest social threat in the house, and then B being like, all right, you're not gonna talk to me, Nicole's not gonna talk to me, game on. So Chris, Keeler, go ahead.
I mean, as the game is, Bunky is the serious threat that is in this game. Everyone loves Bunky, and he's friends with everybody, and he's that one guy that everybody can like, and he's played the game so honest, and he's done what the house has asked, and he's playing the game like a nice guy who just follows the leader. And all of a sudden he comes out of his shell and realizes he wants to win the game, and he can, and he tells everybody.
Okay, it's Keeler.
Yeah, with Bunky realizing, hey, you know what? Nobody's talking to me. Everybody's distancing themselves from me just because the whole Kent thing. He's realizing, all right, I might need to step up my game a little bit and be a little bit more vocal in my stance against things and not let it slide like I have been. I really feel like that's good for him now in his game, to where he can actually do something kind of like Will. He's not in that whole on a stump kind of like stump on a log kind of thing. So I really like that he realizes, hey, I do need to start being more me and not siding with what other people want.
Yeah, I agree. It's like really up to this point. Besides, I mean, he is entertaining to watch. He's very likable, but as far as his impact on the game itself, it's none at this point. And he's totally cool with that. He was just going to ride it out till it came down to a few of them left, and who the best person would win, and he would walk away fine. But they're finding out that is not how you play this game. If you really do truly want to win, you've got to do. Everybody wants the money, but you got to do something to get it. And he's like, okay, if I get to the final two, I'm gonna win. But how the hell do I get to the final two when I got Hardy and Nicole in this house? That's a valid point, Bunky. You should probably figure that out. So Hardy and Nicole, they're like, she's like, I want me and you to be in the final two. And he's like, yes. And he's like, and she's like, I think taking Will is our best bet because, everybody hates Will. And really, I think Nicole is thinking in her head, she's like, if I take Will to the final two, I win. And I think Hardy's thinking the same thing. If I take Will to the final two, I win. Because everybody hates Chilltown. Everybody hates Will. So he'll have 2 votes in Boogie and Shannon, and I'll get the rest, and I get $500,000, and I'm the hero in this story. That's what both of them have to think, I'm assuming. Again, there's no live feeds at this point in Big Brother history, and I've not really. Very few of these players have been like vocal about this game, so I don't know what anyone's mindset was going into this, but it just to me that's what it seems like is happening. And they finally see what everybody's been telling them, which is, yeah, Bunky is the biggest threat to it. Like Boogie and Shannon, everybody. They're like, yeah, Bunky's your biggest threat. And they're like, but you're the bad guys and you're going home. And now they're like, when there's just one bad guy left, they're like, holy shit, Bunky's the biggest threat. And they're like, yeah, what we've been fucking saying for like 2 weeks now. Thank you for listening to words, but don't act like it's your thought. Like you're so smart. We get through the nominations, and Will and Kent are gonna be on the block. And Kent's like, "Huh, that's a little weird." Instead, Krista fucked up the food, and she's not on the block. You put me on the block. What's up with that? So we kind of like going into the next episode. It's like, oh, some shit's about to go down. And like it's just tense because like we didn't end on like a big explosion like Boogie's nomination was. But there's some tension going into it. We'll go Tequila then Chris. What are your thoughts on do you think that Hardy and Nicole want to take Will to the end? Do you think that's their strategy? Or do you think they're planning on taking each other? Or really who's their final two person?
I really do feel like Nicole and Hardy are taking Will. They're going to talk about like them not siding with anybody or not having Will with them, and they're all against each other, and they don't really have like a plan or anything. But me personally, I really do think Will and Hardy and Nicole will go down together, and they're going to play it really well to where nobody really knows what's going on. And they're going to play it really well because Will is a really good liar, first off. Nicole can get on people's nerves, but yet she can't at the same time. And then Hardy, again, is going to play his emotions, play alliances, and do his thing that he always has done. So I really think Will's going to be their final.
And Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Hardy and Nicole are so trying to take Will to the finals. And Hardy is trying to take Will to the final two, while Nicole is trying to take Will to the final two. And they'll both stab each other in the back to get there. I mean, they're all about winning the game. They just don't want to say it. And Nicole is honest, and she's covering her ass every time she votes somebody off the show. I mean, she breaks down into fake tears every time. just trying to get more and more votes because she knows if she takes Will maybe get 2 votes, and that's it. She wins.
Yeah, and like this is the first time that we've really seen someone, I think, acknowledge that there is a jury and try. Like Nicole's trying her best to make sure everyone who's going out, even the people who she's not aligned with, are like, well, yeah, Nicole was okay. Because even Boogie and Shannon are like, yeah, Nicole's pretty cool. Like Nicole does some weird shit, and honestly, as a person, I would not get along with Nicole whatsoever. I don't think, but as a player, she is very smart, and I think she's the first player to ever be aware of I need votes to win at the end of the game. But also you have to get to the end of the game, and that's a lot easier said than done. Chris, you know this from experience. It's very hard to get to the end of the game when everybody wants it. So we go into episode 15. And Will's just in the DR making fun of Hardy. He's like, oh man, I can't believe like I should be their target this week. I'm the biggest threat, really. And they're acting like, yeah, oh, Will, he's just over there. He's just sitting pretty, waiting to go as far as he can. And he's like, he's loving every second of this. He's like, finally, like, it's not a bad week for me. I can just kind of roll through this. And Monica's like, yeah, I feel kind of bad for Kent, but like, he really fucked up. So this is what you get, Kent. So sorry about that. Like, she said, like, basically, sorry, not sorry, before Demi Lovato ever thought of it. Then we get more like the Kent and Bunky friendship stuff. And they're sitting in the kitchen, eating sandwiches, and Nicole comes in. And what does Kent say exactly? But he pisses Nicole off with what he says.
Something about like people being fake or something about being fake, I think.
Like he waited until she came inside to say it, so she'd hear him say it. And then she walks out all pissed, and him and Bunky are just laughing because at this point they're just fucking with him. And I wrote it down. So what Hardy and Nicole both told Bunky is vote your conscience. And he's like, oh, that's kind of weird that both of you all of a sudden don't want to talk game, and both of you said the same fucking thing to me. He's like, if that's really how we're playing it, then good luck to you. I'm ready to play. And Kent goes up to Nicole and he's like, look, what the hell happened? Like, she's like, well, I threw that HOH. I didn't want to win HOH because I didn't want to put you up. He's like, you threw the HOH because you didn't want to have to put me up. You do know if you're HOH, you get to choose who you put up. So you didn't have to put me up if you didn't want to. He's like, yeah, but then they'd be after me next week, and I'd rather it be you than me. So, like, I threw it to Hardy so that he would take you out. And she kind of acted like Kent was supposed to be okay with that answer. Like, that's a terrible answer. Like, I've talked about Nicole. She's done great at jury management. Then all of a sudden, she just forgets how to do that completely. She's like, oh, yeah, I threw that. And you're like, okay, kind of understand your reasoning. Oh, okay, so why'd you throw that? Yeah, because, like, everyone wants you out, but, like, I didn't want to be the person to do it, but, like, it's going to happen. And expects him not to do anything about it. It's absolutely batshit bananas. It sounds like something Hardy would do. But now Kent's like, shit, I'm probably going home. But Bunky's still going to be here, but he's going to be the target. I've got to do what I can to try to shift the target away from Bunky next week because I don't want him going out right after me. And then we get Nicole has that weird conversation with Kent, and she's like, shit. And she's like, hey, Hardy, there's going to be 4 votes this week. We know Bunky's going to be voting out Will. And we know that Krista and Monica are voting out Kent. What if I vote out Will so that I don't do that to Kent? Basically saying, like, so I don't piss off Kent and I can get Kent's jury votes. You, Hardy, can have the split vote. You can get Kent out of here. You can say, Kent, I don't like you. Get out of here. Get the blood on your hands. My game will be completely covered. Is that cool? Can we do that? And Hardy's like, no. That's a terrible idea. Why would we do that unnecessarily? Which he was the one during Shannon who he wanted to have this happen. And now he's like, oh, yeah, that's a terrible move because that makes me look like an asshole. Thoughts on this batshit bananas thing that's happening here? These weird conversations and these stupid gameplay moves. Tequila, go.
I think some of it is just they have no room to do anything. They've been in this house for a really long time. I think they're like putting these weird thoughts in their head, and they're like, "Hey, maybe I should talk about this to people just to have a conversation going on and just to see their thoughts on it." Because most of these conversations, I'm like, why are we talking about this? Like, there's no reason to be talking about this. You know the answer already. So what are you doing? So I really feel like it's more of a boredom kind of thing than they're just trying to pass the time, having like a casual conversation at the same time so they can just not be bored. Other than that, I really don't have a stance on why these conversations are happening.
Okay, Chris.
I mean, in here you have Kent, who has already decided that everybody's going to vote him out. He's gone. So he's thinking he has to save Bunky, and he just wants to blow up as many alliances as he can so Bunky can win, and that's all Kent is trying to do. He just wants to start shit with anybody. He's an ape, and he's just flinging shit at everybody in the house, and he wants them all mad. He wants nobody to be friends. And then you have everybody else in the house is always walking around trying to be friends with everybody and figure out who is alliances with who and who has the biggest chance of winning this game. And they want to stop him. And Kent just throws a wrench in all of it and breaks every alliance.
Yeah, it's interesting that Kent. Yeah, I mean, he's fighting. He's not giving up. He's not falling on the sword. But he's like, probably going to beat me. So the least I could do is set it up to where someone I've worked with this whole time has a chance to win. Because if Bunky's in the final two, he's got Kent's vote immediately. No doubt he has Kent's vote. And if Will's not in the final two, Bunky's got Chilltown's vote too. So, okay, so there's going to be 10 votes at the end. So there's a potential for a tie. But that's if Bunky gets to the end, he's got, and then Will's not in the end. He gets Will, he gets Shannon, he probably gets Cheryl, he gets Boogie, and he gets Kent. That's $500,000. So like you look at those statistics, and yes, Bunky's the scariest person, but Kent's like, if I could just get him close enough, and he wins a couple of competitions, he's got it, and everyone's happy, and money and bitches and fame. So that's what I mean. He didn't say money and bitches and fame, but I wanted him to. If he would have said that, it would have been glorious.
Yeah, he said it like an old man would.
Yes, like the old man version of money, but yeah. So they had to do this. I hate this damn challenge. We get a much better version of this challenge later in Big Brother, which is they had to take these dolls, dress them up themselves, and they had to go in blindfolded and find them. We get a much better version because they're like, now be careful, because they're basically like, this house is expensive. Your guys' competition is usually throwing CDs in bowls. Don't you break shit. Which later in Big Brother, they have a POV where you have to hide these little discs in the house, and you have to go in and find them. And people literally run in the house because you're not blindfolded. You have to find these discs. People run in the house like taking cereal and throwing cereal around the kitchen, like ripping cushions and shit open. They don't give any shit. The Big Brother now is like, we have all the money. Break whatever you want. And in Big Brother 2, they're like, yes, don't touch anything. So they go in and they have this guys versus girls thing. And of course, Will is like, yeah, I don't care about the house. And he's just throwing shit around and like kicking things over. And it's like the rest of the episode, that house is still like fucked up. Like that little turntable thing he like flipped onto the floor is still on the floor. Like way later in this episode, I'm like, it's been like 3 days. No one picked that up. So the girls win. They get luxury item of their choice. So Krista had Boogie sent some flowers. Nicole had her husband sent some flowers, and Monica got $100 worth of cigarettes. And then Krista's like, in her card to Boogie was like, P.S. Send Shannon flowers. Will lost. And I was like, that's sweet. That's sweet of her. And then they're like, Big Brother is going to give you a pet. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to be a dog. And I can't, who said horse? Who said it was going to be a horse?
That was Krista. That was Krista.
Yeah, because she's like, what if it's a horse? Nicole's like, a horse in the house? She's like, yeah, because it's just a week. And she's like, it's a horse in the house. What banana statement is that? I wish it would have been a horse. Just to see Nicole's face if a horse walked in. And then Monica's like, fuck this. I don't want a pet. I don't like pets. Like, because in Big Brother 1, they got a dog. Well, they got the dog for like the whole summer. Her name was Paquita. She's a little pug, and she was cute. Let's see here. Before we find out what their pet is, Nicole and Kent, they have that argument, and where Bunky basically refers to Nicole as Hardy's harem, which I was like, damn, that's a little rough, but like I get it. And then Will is just like watching them all fight each other, and he goes to the DR. He's like, man, it is great. I knew this was coming, but I didn't think I was going to be in the house to see it. I thought I was going to be watching from home. And here I am just watching the smokers. He calls them the smokers. I'm watching them fall apart in front of me. And this is brilliant. I could not ask for a better present than to watch these people tear each other limb from limb. So my question for the two of you about that is, if your Will, like your spot you're in, so say like Tequila or Chris, we'll start with Tequila and Chris. Would you, if you're in Will's point in the game, is this the best possible scenario for you to just sit back and just watch everybody just pick each other apart? Go ahead.
Yeah, I do, because I would not want to be in all that drama, because once you start in that drama, people are going to remember what you say and who you say it to. So Will's doing a really good job laying back and watching everything, because they can't say, well, oh yeah, you remember that one scuffle we had? Well, Will said this to Monica, and then Monica responded back with this. So, I mean, Will's really playing it safe, even though he could be a good liar, though, too, with all this drama stuff and spread it even more. He's doing a really good job letting them do it themselves, so he doesn't have any, I guess, like, bad juju against him in a way, to where it'll make him not be in the house. So he's furthering his future in the house, but what he's doing is just watching everything.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, all you have to see is there's a scene in one of these episodes where Will is just sitting and just eating pretzels, watching everybody fight, and that's all you need to see to know Will's personality in this game right now. And he wants to sit back, he wants to watch, and he wants to enjoy it, because he knows he's going to get taken to the finals because nobody likes him, and he knows if he beats Kent, it's over. And so you see Will start to act like the nice guy, and nobody ever hears him say anything negative about anybody to their face. And he's starting to go around behind everybody's back. And he saw what Kent did, starting to break up the alliances to further your time in the game. And you can see Will as he starts to do this in the game. And it's just, he's so smart. and he sees how he needs to play.
Yeah, and Will's strategy, and like he's obviously like I've heard Will talk about his BB2 game, and at this point, it's basically make the target so big that nobody wants to hit it because they know at any point they can take out Will. He has painted this picture of himself as like I'm worthless. I can't win competitions. My strategic. He says this to people. My strategic game sucks. Like I'm completely alone in this house. He's basically like, why would you waste your HOH taking me out? Anyone's gonna take me out. Take out a threat to you. You know, like I'm just trying to make it as far as I can in this game. I know I can't win, but I would love to get like second or third or fourth. And everybody's like, oh yeah, that totally makes sense. And they're just blowing him off. Like, this guy is a doctor. And he's probably the smartest, most intelligent person in this house. And he is younger, he's athletic, but he's purposely like trying to paint this picture of I'm a weak person. And it's such a brilliant move because not many people can just be like, yeah, I'm the biggest threat pretty much strategically, and nobody wants to take a shot at me. That's it's fucking insane. Like I can't quite comprehend it because that's such a ballsy gameplay move. So they get a pig, which we find out they get Ophelia, who's a boy, but a neutered boy. So and there's a lot of confusion whether they call them he, she, whatever, but they get a pig, and that's fun. Kent is bonded with this pig because that's about the only person in the house that will talk to Kent other than Bunky. So he's got Bunky and a pig. And basically, at this point in the game, this is a fun little thing to talk about, and I'll ask you guys your thoughts about this. Monica's asleep, and Monica has been like the confidant of everybody in this house. Like everybody has a problem, they go to Monica, so she's had to listen to these people bitch for over a month. She's asleep, and Nicole goes and wakes her up to talk about something, and she's like, "All right, that's it. I'm so done with this shit. Bunky, stop whining and just tell people how you feel." And Nicole, shut the fuck up. Like, she's like slamming her hands on the couch. She's like, stop acting like goddamn motherfucking kids. Like, this is not rocket science. Talk to people. And if anyone else wakes me up in the goddamn morning, they're going to have a problem that's a lot bigger than any nomination. And I was like, oh. So we'll go, Chris and Tequila. What are your thoughts on Monica, her explosion and her mental breakdown a little bit?
I mean, Monica has just had it with everything she's had to hear. I mean, she hears constantly that somebody hates somebody and we should take care of this person, get this person out of the game. We want this person to win. And I mean, everybody goes to Monica because she's honest and she will tell you how it is. And you can always trust her. And it's Monica and she can't take it anymore. There's just too much drama and she's had enough of it to the point where when she wakes up and she hears it, it's done. Like she doesn't want to hear it anymore and she lets you know it.
Okay, Tequila?
Yeah, because as soon as, she's going on this whole rampage, she's like, I hear it from the time I wake up. She's like, I want to have my coffee and I want to have some food to eat. And then, then I can hear about it. She goes, but until then, I don't want to hear about it. I hear about it from the time I wake up to the time I go to bed. I'm sick and tired of hearing all this, and if you got your insecurities, you go to other people about it. You can talk to other people, besides me, so I feel her though, because I mean, she's and like I think Nicole says about it too, like, oh, it's just Monica, she's finally had it, she's exploded, like a teapot, because she lets it all, keeps it to herself. So yeah, Monica's gonna explode, she's been a whole month in this, and everybody's coming to her, and she hasn't told anybody, her problems. So I mean, I really feel for her. I thought it was kind of funny, and everybody's like, they didn't understand what's going on. Like, she just automatically comes out of this bedroom, except bloating, and yelling at people. So I understand where she's coming from, and I hope it doesn't affect her later on. And I hope, like, once she lets all the steam out, it doesn't happen again. But I can understand where you're pushed to the brink, and then you finally break.
Yeah, and like it's thank God she got those cigarettes. She's got got herself a little extra because if she didn't have cigarettes on top of this, oh boy, would this have been an interesting version of Monica to see. And like, yeah, there does come a point when you're everybody's confidant and you're in a house that's like 8 people just boiling drama all the time, but you're the one everyone goes to about it. You're gonna get pissed off after a while. Like it's just like it's inevitable. And poor Monica. She's trying to be new, trying to be as low as possible, but there comes a point where you got to be like, all right, I'm done. So we got 2 more things to talk about before we end this episode. Kent, he's like, all right, we got a house meeting on Monday. This is my last chance to get anything together I could possibly get together to stay in this house. So Hardy leads the meeting because he's HOA. And he's like, yeah, does anyone have anything? Kent's like, Will, why don't you go ahead and talk first? Will's like, okay. I'm on the block. Kind of, I'm used to that. So let's, keep this game going, basically, is what Will says in so many words. And Kent's like, all right, that's great, Will. All right, guys, like, listen. We have been working together since this point. He says top like 40 times.
Yeah.
He's like, top alliance. So it's me, it's Bunky, it's Nicole, it's Monica. If you guys want to do this and ride this out to the end, that like I am still down to do that. Like I'm not mad about my nomination. I'm not targeting you guys. Like vote Will out. Take me to the. He's like, I don't even blame Will. He's like, Will's playing the game, and that's fine. I understand that. He's like, but let me tell you something about Hardy. He's got a goddamn alliance with everybody in this house. He says, I don't want to win. I don't care about winning. And he's clearly lying. He's told Krista, he's like, how many of you have Hardy promised to take to the final 2? And Hardy, how the hell do you plan on taking 7 people to the final 2? That's impossible. Like, he just keeps going on and on and on. And Hardy's like, oh shit, like he did not expect Kent to come at him like this. And Will's just like, oh my God, he wanted to go get more pretzels so he could continue the whole, like, this is like, Will is us at this point. He's the audience. He's like, yes, this is great. And Kent is like listing all these things that Hardy's doing. And he's like, you save me, one of us gets HOH, we're taking Hardy out. And he's like, if Krista gets HOH and she beats the 4 of us, I'll go out. I'll fall on the sword. That's fine. I'm okay with that. He's like, but if one of you guys wants to win the game over Will, over Hardy, over Krista, now is the chance. If you don't take the swing now, we're going to lose. And Hardy's like, are you done? He's like, yeah, that's about all I got to say. Hardy's like, well, you're a liar, and I can't believe you would say that about me. And basically he's like, like, oh, you're so pathetic, Kent. How could you do that? America's going to hate you, blah, blah, blah. And Kent blew the fuck up, like, immediately. He got up. He's basically like, fuck you, Hardy. I'm so tired of your shit. Hardy's like, fuck you. And, like, they're just, like, screaming at each other. And then Hardy's like, Bunky, when have I ever? And Bunky's just like, nope, do not say my name. Do not tell me. Like, no, I'm not in this. I'm going to play with my microphone volume on and off for a while. And Will wraps that little segment up with going to the diary room and saying, like, oh yeah, Kent's 100% right. Me and Hardy are working together. Me and Nicole are working together. Hardy's running this house. But Kent, so sorry, you're not going to be around to do anything about it. I am. And so basically, what are your thoughts on this crazy blow up, Chris Tequila?
Yeah, I mean, Kent is just, he's swinging for the fences here. It's the very last chance he has to stay in this house. And he's just going to grasp at the very last straw he can. And he wants his alliance back. He wants people to trust him. And he just wants to go farther in the game. And he's willing to say whatever he needs to get there. And he's finally realizing that's how he needs to play if he wants to make it to the finals. But, I mean, I don't know if he can do it. And he goes about it the wrong way with Hardy, seeing Hardy as an enemy, and he unveils that to everybody. And then that loses Hardy's favor with Kent, and that could destroy Kent in the end.
And it's killing.
Yeah, I totally agree on all the parts. Like with, Kent taking the final straw, like, hey, this is my last chance to stay in the game if at possible, so I'm going to make it, as going good as I can get it, put on a play, put on a show, all I can do, just to get out. But if he would have thought about this way before winning, not like everybody else, like, oh, now I want to start playing the game. This is my last chance. If he would have thought about that maybe, 3 episodes ago and was trying to make alliances with people and not being a dickhead to everybody, maybe he would have had a chance with his last speech, or maybe he wouldn't even been on the block at all, because now everybody's like, hey, I hate Kent, but I also like him. But now, since he exploded, we all hate him more the same. So it was a good part trying to, go out strong with his speech, but he should have thought about this way before now.
Yeah, and this is like the prime example of, like, again, this is the first season. So people are like really learning how the game is to be played. And like I think for season 3, their contestants are gonna look at this and be like, okay, I want to have like a Krista HOH where I come out okay and I'm able to ride it for a while. I don't want to do a Kent HOH. I don't want a Hardy HOH either. I need to alliances. Okay, cool, necessary. Need that. Got it. Chilltown probably shouldn't be that upfront about who I'm aligned with. They're gonna have an archetypal season to look at in season 3 where they could be like, okay, yeah, okay, I'm gonna try to do this, try not to do this. Whereas these people are like making it up as they go. And just for some people like Kent right now, yes, when you're on the block, you should probably try to flip your way to the top. However, right before the eviction, probably not the best time to do that. You should be doing that the whole game. Be socially aware of how you come off and try to change that as needed each week. Because a lot of the times that we're talking about people, it's like, ah, shit, that was too little, too late. Because this is the first game, and they look back on it and they're like, shit, if I was gonna play it again, I fucked up there. But you can't fix it. The final thought, I forgot to do this. I think the last 2 episodes. Who do you think is playing the best game at this point? Going in episode 16, who's playing the best game? Who's playing the worst game? Crisco.
Oh, I mean, it's so Will. Will is playing the absolute perfect game right now. He's sitting back. He's watching everybody play the game. He's barely hanging in there. And he's letting everybody know, like, I have the biggest target on my back, as you said. He's the most hated person in the house. And everybody is seeing that, and they're like, he's not a threat to me. It's late in the game. I need to take out threats. And Will is just going around and he's deciding which of these threats he wants to try and convince his so-called alliances with everyone to vote out of the house. And Will is essentially picking who he wants voted out of the house, and it's happening every single week.
And worst game?
Worst game, I honestly think would be Hardy right now. Because Hardy tried to make so many alliances that it hurt him now because everybody thinks they can't trust him. And he could essentially be the next one. I mean, he needs to make everybody like him again and trust him. But he can't do that if he keeps promising everybody that they're going to make it to the final and nobody else. And he has to decide who he wants as his team, and he has to do it now, or it could be the end of his game.
Tequila?
With the best game, it's a tie between Will and Monica for me. Like, I totally agree with Will playing it really well, playing the game, playing sides, making alliances, doing his thing, stepping back when he needs to, going forward when he needs to. But yeah, Monica, and like, she hasn't made a strong hold on the game, like playing for it, but yet she's under the radar still, like she has been for like this whole entire time. I mean, for the very best game, I think it would be Will, but I think second best would be Monica. the worst, I do agree with Hardy. With the emotional, with I don't know what I'm doing. I'm still gonna lie to everybody, even though I'm getting pointed out that I am lying. I'm still gonna keep doing what I'm doing until I leave the house. Hopefully, later than sooner. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So here's my. I'll get worst player out of the way. I think we're in a clean sweep board. Hardy is playing the worst game at this point, and for probably the last episode, I would say Hardy was playing one of the better games. But he's so emotional, so back and forth, and he's not. It's one thing to be that internally, but he's telling people how he's feeling. So they're seeing his own hypocrisy, and he's got. At one point, he's made an alliance with everybody in this house, and some of the people who have been evicted. So you can't. Just like Kent said, you can't take everybody to the final two. You got to get your shit together. And even now, he kind of has his set final two, which is either Nicole or Will. But no one else knows that. No one else is aware of that. And even if Hardy can make it to the final two, would he even have the votes? Would he have pissed everybody off? And they're like, no, fuck you. You're not getting $500,000. Like, hey, there's a chance that could happen because not only are these people going to see what they saw in the game, but they're not a sequestered jury. They're seeing what you're saying in the DR. They're seeing all of it. And so when they see you say, like, I want to be humble, I want to help these people in this game, I'm a good guy, but then you're going and you're making an alliance with Will, and you're saying you're making a deal with the devil, that does not paint you as the hero. So yes, Hardy, no doubt, worst player of this particular round of episodes. The best, I hear the point about Monica, but the thing about Monica is she's put herself in a point she's never been nominated. She's never been in any danger. But also, I can't really give her the best because she's not affecting the social strategical dynamics of the house. She's this role light. She's looking out for Monica, and she's doing a good job of it. But Will is in a position of power, but he's on the block just about every single week. So when there's a 50% chance you can go home and for 100% that it's not going to be you, so you can sit comfortably in the most dangerous position in the house when there's no veto at this point in Big Brother history, that is huge. When you're like, yeah, go ahead and put me on the block. You're not going to get me out, but I'm going to sit on the block. That's fine. Like, that's huge. It's so big. And also, a point about Will's game, Nicole is playing a good game herself, but her emotions, man, she can't shut her mouth. If someone says something to Nicole, she blows up. Even Monica at this point has blown up. Bunky has blown up. Kent has blown up. Hardy has blown up. We got Hardy and Kent saying, fuck you, to each other in the middle of a house meeting. Everybody's exploded, but have you ever seen Will explode? Absolutely not. We've had people come for Will hard, and he's like, yeah, no, you're not going to get me to budge. He's cool, he's calm, he's collected because he has a set. Each move is for a reason. And I think for that reason, and from going from you're at the bottom to now he's probably riding one of the top alliances in the house, that's pretty goddamn good. And he did that completely on his own.
Yep.
So that's my case for Will playing the best game at this point. And for the longest time, Will was at the bottom of that list of good players. Yep. Because the whole Shannon thing, he's just basically horny. And then when she's gone, he's still like, he just doesn't quite have it together. But Boogie's eviction, it's like he came alive and showed like his exact potential of how well he could play this game, and is now setting the archetype of how to play this game. You don't have to be the most liked person to make it to, 6, 7, or how many people are left. Like, you don't have to. They can hate you all they want to, but you got to make yourself useful. And God damn it, Will has made himself useful to these people. So that is up to this point. Next episode will probably be Tuesday. I'll know for sure over the weekend, so I'll send you guys the schedule. We're going to go 16, 17, 18. We're going to do these in groups of 3s. And then when we do Big Brother from now on, because now that I know the format, we've kind of got used to it. Survivor, it'll be just groups of 2 because someone goes home every episode of Survivor. It's much easier to group. Big Brother, each episode's going to cover HOH to eviction. So we're going to have HOH to an eviction, HOH to an eviction. That, I think, will help things go by faster. It'll help us, kind of get to it. And it kind of like right now we're a little jumbled because we're each episode's like right before the next eviction. We're going to fix that going into Big Brother 3, which I'm so excited for you guys to watch Big Brother 3. Because Big Brother 2 has characters. They have some great people. Big Brother 3 has some of the best gameplay that even for today's standards, people look back at Big Brother 3 on how to play strategically. That's huge when we're going into Big Brother 21 and people are like, I still want to play like those people did back into Big Brother 3. That's the big thing. And out of Big Brother 3, we get one of the strongest females we've ever had in a cast. That's big for reality television.
Oh, yeah.
Because even in Big Brother 2, there's a lot of bitchy females. Like we don't really get like Monica's the closest to the strong female we like. In Big Brother 3, we're going to see the girls are coming out to play. And oh boy, do they. And then, so also, we're going to do the Survivor snake draft. Tequila, did you understand how that works?
I know I'm last. I know that part.
Yeah, you'll get the leftovers, but we'll do snake drafts for everything. So Big Brother 3, we're going to have a snake draft too. So basically how it works is there's an order. Number 1 picks, like you'll make a list, like I'll send you the cast and their bios. And you just make a list like 1 through whatever of who you want. And like number 1 picks, and then 2, then 3, then 4. Then 4 picks again. And we got 3, then 2, then 1. Then 1 picks again, and we go down. So it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up, then it goes down. And for Survivor, everyone will have 4 people. Because there's 16 people, 4 of you. I know the outcome. I'll exclude myself. Tequila, since you know the outcome, you just get the leftovers. Whoever they don't pick, it's in your hands. Like they're leaving it all. You can sit there and maybe you'll get the winner, which would be hilarious if you just sat back and got the win. Whatever happens with Survivor Borneo, like whoever's team places what, that's the order you get for Big Brother 3 picks. So, like, if you get the winner of Survivor, you will pick first in Big Brother 3. If your team is out first, you will be the last person picking for Big Brother 3. Because Big Brother 3, there's 12 people again, so you'll each have 3 people. Because we get 12, and then Big Brother 4, we start getting 13 people. Up to Big Brother 6, we get 14. And it stays at 14 all the way up to Big Brother 14. Then we get 16, and now it's like a standard. We have 16-person cast. So for a while, it was like a really low number. So I'm sorry, I really kind of lost myself in that conversation. My bad. Yes, join us Tuesday. Hopefully, Jada will be with us on that one. We've missed having her on these podcasts. We'll try to set up next week to do the Survivor Snake Draft too, because I'm so interested because I've made my own predictions on what you guys will pick and who Tequila will end up with. I have my own set like prediction chart for that. And I was pretty close to Big Brother 2. I was very close with who would pick who. Like Chris, I guessed he would end up with Chilltown because who thinks that they would have gone far? So, and he did. But everybody, I got one person on their team. Like they picked one person I thought they would, but they didn't get the other. So, like, for me, it's an incentive for me. I'll just guess how you guys think shit'll go. And then, in my head, be like, you're right or wrong. Okay, so we're going to sign off for tonight.